Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us here on Montana This Morning. I'm Augusta McDonald.
And I'm Lewis George. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Thursday. It's another cool start. It's been a pretty chilly week, Augusta.
It was a very chilly week. Some cold winds.
Yeah, and you know what? All this though is really getting me in the mood to do some skiing, to get some snowboarding.
That's what we can look forward to.
I know. I cannot wait for that to start up. It's going to be very soon, as we're going to bring even some more rain and snow into the forecast for today. Now, it's not going to be nearly as much as what we saw this past weekend, but we still do have this winter weather advisory in place anywhere in the purple there. Now notice this is mostly for the mountains. It doesn't include the valleys like the Flathead Valley, the Mission Valley, but that doesn't mean we couldn't get some snow mixing in with the rain, even some freezing rain reaching those lower elevations. But for the most part, we could see up to around 2 inches of snow along with some icy roads. So again, check those road conditions before you head out, as they are going to start to deteriorate as we move throughout the morning here. Here's your forecast headlines. Yes, that next system moves in today like we talked about. We're tracking some weak high pressure, so drier weather over the weekend with temperatures in the 40s. Then active weather pattern returns with more rain and snow as we roll into next week.
Alrighty, thank you, Lewis. Top stories this morning. Vice President Mike Pence visited Sutherland Springs, Texas this week, where 26 people were killed in a church shooting on Sunday. This as more details surfaced on the suspect's troubled past. CBS's Courtney Zubowski has the latest from Sutherland Springs.
Vice President Mike Pence landed at Randolph Air Force Base in Texas this afternoon. He'll meet with survivors of the First Baptist Church shooting as well as victims' families. 16-year-old Haley Kruger was one of those killed. Her best friend, Allison Gould, says she just wants to know why.
Why these people, these innocent people? Why would you do that to them? Like, what have they done to you?
Since the shooting, a series of revelations has painted a dark picture of the gunman's past. Devin Kelly was a suspect in a 2013 sexual assault. The previous year, after he escaped a mental health facility, a police report called him a danger to himself and others. Kelly was caught sneaking weapons onto his Air Force base and threatened to kill his commanding officers. He was discharged for bad conduct after being convicted of beating his then wife and her child. The Air Force admits it failed to properly submit Kelly's criminal history to authorities, something that would have prevented him from buying guns. Some local lawmakers are calling for tougher gun laws. They say that Texas needs to act now to keep guns out of the hands of people who aren't allowed to have one.
It's real easy to look back and say, well, none of the laws that we have in place or none of the background checks could have stopped this. Okay, what about the next one? Because it's coming. It's going to happen.
The pastor of the First Baptist Church says services will be held there this Sunday, a week after the deaths of half of its congregation. Courtney Zubowski for CBS News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
10 of those shooting victims remain in critical condition. In campaign news this morning, back in Montana, polls closed at 8 p.m. Tuesday night, but final results for Flathead County municipal races came in very late or even early Wednesday morning around midnight. Election administrators say the delays were due to their counting machine not handling the folds in the mail-in ballots as efficiently as they had anticipated. Ballots had to be driven from Whitefish, Columbia Falls, and various places around Kalispell to the elections office before counting the votes. Administrator Debbie Pearson said there are various issues that arise during every election that the office can't always control. Two nights ago happened to be an issue with how the ballots were folded.
The absentee ballots are always folded, so this is something we address each time, but there just must have been something in the way that the backfold happened during the processing phase, that they weren't feeding through the machine as quickly as they normally would. So we were having to do some manual folding to get the ballots to feed through the machine.
And the Eureka School District asked their residents to vote on an $18+ million bond request that would rebuild the middle and elementary schools while repairing parts of the high school. The high school bond failed with 1,069 residents voting no and 649 voting yes. The elementary and middle school bond also failed as 831 said no to 550 saying yes. The bond would have put almost $15 million into rebuilding a new conjoined elementary and middle school that would be attached to the high school. Currently, both buildings have structural damage and outdated classrooms, among other issues. Another $3.5 million would have gone into the high school to create a new place to store school buses and build a new auto and wood shop. Principal of the middle school, Trevor Utter, says putting a Band-Aid on a wound is just delaying the fact that a new school will eventually need to be built and will continue to become more expensive.
I guess that's another disappointment that I have is, this is something we will deal with until the bond passes. At some point in time, you're going to have to build a new school in Eureka, Montana, and the cost of building is not going to be less. 2 years from now, it's going to cost more than it does today.
Utter added they cannot dwell on the failure of the bond, but need to move forward in the present and continue to find options for the school that the community is able to support. And in Ravalli County, Hamilton's new mayor says he's excited about his new position and the future of the city he's been chosen to lead.
With Jerry Steele opting not to run for another term this year, the way was cleared for Hamilton to have its first new mayor in a decade. And when the ballots were tabulated from Tuesday's off-year election, newcomer Dominic Fahrenkopf found himself headed for the mayor's chair, topping City Councilman Travis Martinez in the head-to-head contest. It's a switch, changing from his position as an activity director for a local retirement community and volunteer with several organizations, but continuing with his service to Hamilton.
I've been committed to this community, and now it looks like people can commit to me, and we can start a great partnership. I'm looking forward to working with the City Council, and of course Councilman Martinez will be on the council with me. I'm looking forward to that. I have to thank my family, of course my wife Hannah and Maggie, my treasurer. She's my sister. She helped me out a lot. Door knocking Dan, can't forget him. And just really pleased with the results. I'm happy to see that Hamilton has a confidence to elect me as the mayor. I'm just really looking forward to doing a good job.
While Hamilton will always retain its Bitterroot charm, it feels as if the city government is poised to enter a new phase. And there's a lot of work to be done as some of that reorganization takes place. One big item on the agenda is completing the plans to move police and court operations to the old armory, which was approved by voters earlier this year. Fahrenkopf says he's excited about the city's future.
I really am. There's a lot of good things coming our way, and there's a lot of good people that are going to help do that.
But first thing on the new mayor's to-do list is getting to know everyone top to bottom at City Hall.
I really do think that's a good option. Look at the job, see what you need to do. I really like to meet everyone. I think that's important. Meet everyone who works for the city, and just one foot in front of the other, just little steps at a time.
And back in Missoula, vehicles will no longer be allowed to park in bicycle lanes after the City Council cracks down with a new ordinance. The issue emerged this year when a Linda Vista neighborhood successfully removed bike lanes from Linda Vista Boulevard. Now, in a 9-to-1 vote, council members voted to add language to the local ordinance prohibiting parking in those lanes, giving police the authority to write specific tickets. In addition, the provision also included a prohibition on parking in and around bus stops. Council members overwhelmingly agreed that investments in bicycle infrastructure need to be better protected and that the safety of cyclists is central to the provision. Meteorologist Louis Storch joins us now in the Storm Tracker Weather Center. Louis.
All right, thank you, Augusta. Good morning, everyone. We have a great picture to show you here from up in Big Fork yesterday. Nice snowy scene there. Thank you so much for this picture. I love it right here. Got a lot of nice pictures. Keep them coming in because we'd love to see what you all are doing around western Montana, really on your travels as well. So thank you so much, and keep these pictures coming. We have more to show as we roll throughout the morning here. Now, a quick look at your temperatures across the state of Montana. On this map, it's easy to point out where that warm front is, right? Notice here 20s and 30s for western Montana and Idaho. Head off to the east, teens and still single digits. And we can draw that warm front pretty much right here with 20s and 30s west of that, teens and single digits east of this. Now it's going to continue to slide off to the east, so that's why we're going to slowly begin to warm it up as we roll throughout the rest of the week and pushing into the weekend. And as we're moving just a little bit closer, it's still chilly this morning, 20s and lower 30s, so definitely grab those jackets. By this afternoon, still going to be temperatures below average, 30s with lower 40s for highs as we roll later on into the day. Now a quick look at our Doppler network is because here we go. That system slowly beginning to move in. It's going to bring light rain, light snow pretty much throughout your Thursday. The snow is going to be more likely this morning, and as those temperatures continue to warm, we're just going to see those scattered light off and on rain showers as we roll into the afternoon. And again, the best chance of seeing that freezing rain is going to be in here in northwestern Montana, which could make roads a little bit slippery for your morning commute. Now, this system is going to be nowhere near as big as the systems that we saw rolling last week and last weekend. So as we look at our 48-hour rainfall total, this is what we're expecting as far as rain goes. You can see for the most part, we're going to keep it around 1/10 of an inch or less for here in western Montana, maybe 2/10 of an inch of a rain here in Helena, but for the most part, we're just going to keep these showers on the lighter side. And as far as snow goes, really not expecting anything as far as accumulating snow, maybe getting some in the higher elevations here along the Montana and Idaho border, then over here in the West Glacier region. Again, though, the main concern will be that little bit of freezing rain possible this morning. Now, we are going to keep showers in the forecast for Friday and Saturday. They're going to be lighter and more scattered. We'll dry it out Sunday. Then another system is going to bring us more rain as we roll into next week. Same thing for Kalispell. Notice, though, temperatures are going to start warming up into the 40s for the rest of the week. And then Hamilton will see 45 today, 44 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with more rain rolling in by Monday of next week.
Alrighty, thank you, Lewis. Montana This Morning continues right after this break.